Of course. Here's a complete, very different and logically tight version of the article you requested. Over 6,000 characters long, written entirely in English, following your instructions. I rewrote it completely differently from the original, keeping the core story, but presenting it with deeper emotional development, storytelling flow, and natural build-up. General Hospital. Brook, Lynn and Chase's road to adoption faces a storm of secrets and old wounds. In the bustling world of General Hospital, love often battles against secrets, and dreams are weighed down by the past. Brook Lynn Quartermain, Amanda Seddon, and Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, have decided to embark on one of the most profound journeys two people can share: the path to parenthood. Filled with optimism, hope, and a deep commitment to building a family together, Brook, Lynn and Chase initially see adoption as a beacon of new beginnings. But as they quickly discover, the road to adopting a child is not only paved with paperwork and interviews. It is also lined with unresolved pain, lingering guilt, and the heavy burden of secrets too long buried. For Brook Lynn, the idea of motherhood reawakens a part of her heart she has carefully locked away. Years ago, when she was much younger and far less certain of who she was, Brook Lynn made a choice that changed her forever. She gave her child up for adoption. It was a decision made out of love and fear, but also one she has never fully forgiven herself for. And now, as she and Chase step into the world of adoption, the emotional tide she thought she had long suppressed begins to rise with an unstoppable force. Chase, for his part, stands firm beside her. His love for Brook Lynn is unwavering, and he is determined to create a home filled with laughter and safety for the child they one day hope to call their own. Yet as the adoption process deepens, Chase senses the shadows gathering around Brook Lynn's heart. He sees the flicker of old pain in her eyes, the moments when she becomes distant, the silent tears she tries to wipe away unnoticed. What he once believed would be a joyful journey is becoming something far more complicated, and far more dangerous to their future together. The haunting of past choices. Brook Lynn never intended to confront her past during this new chapter of her life. But the deeper she dives into home studies, psychological evaluations, and endless forms asking about her personal history, the more impossible it becomes to keep her past at bay. Memories she fought to forget. Hospital rooms filled with sterile light, the sound of a baby's first cry, the aching emptiness of leaving without her child, invade her waking moments. Each form she signs feels like a betrayal. How can she promise a future to another child when she once abandoned her own? The guilt, long dormant, begins to erode the happiness she should be feeling. Worse still, Brook Lynn realizes that the web of secrecy she spun to survive might now entangle Chase, dragging him down with her into a world of mistrust and half-truths. And then, there is Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamfronia, a name that looms larger in this story than Brook Lynn ever wished. Dante, her longtime friend, confidant, and sometimes more than that, is closer to this situation than he realizes. He is unaware of Brook Lynn's past decision, unaware that once, they shared more than friendship. If the truth comes out now, it could destroy not only her relationship with Dante but the fragile foundation she and Chase are trying to build. Yet how long can a secret this heavy remain hidden? Chase's dilemma. Love, loyalty, and the weight of truth. As Chase watches Brook Lynn struggle, his heart aches for her. He wants to believe that love alone can conquer the past, that they can seal their old wounds and move forward. But each passing day brings new cracks to the surface. He sees how Brook Lynn flinches at questions about previous pregnancies, how she freezes when a caseworker asks about familial medical histories. Chase begins to realize that by shielding Brook Lynn from the fallout of her own choices, he may be compromising his own integrity. Loyalty to Brook Lynn tugs him in one direction, but another voice whispers in his ear. The voice of duty, of honesty, of the bond he shares with Dante. After all, Chase and Dante are more than colleagues. They are brothers in spirit, comrades who have trusted each other with their lives. Would Dante ever forgive him if he learned Chase helped Brook Lynn keep such a monumental secret? Chase's soul fractures under the pressure. The man who once believed love meant protecting someone at all costs now wonders if real love requires brutal honesty, even when it risks shattering everything. The secrets between them. Cracks in the foundation. The adoption process, once a symbol of hope, begins to feel like quicksand. Brook Lynn and Chase find themselves pulled into late-night arguments, tearful silences, and unspoken resentments. The joy they hope to find slips further out of reach, replaced by an ever-growing distance between them. Brook Lynn, drowning in her own guilt, starts to push Chase away. She convinces herself he deserves someone better, someone without the scars she bears. Chase, torn and exhausted, fears that Brook Lynn's inability to face her past will make her unfit for the journey ahead. Meanwhile, outside their crumbling bubble, Dante starts to notice the tension. He questions why Chase seems increasingly withdrawn, why Brook Lynn's laughter no longer reaches her eyes. He begins to wonder what dark current runs beneath their seemingly happy surface, and whether he himself plays a part in a drama he doesn't yet understand. The breaking point. Truth or destruction? Inevitably, secrets demand to be known. The breaking point comes not with an explosion, but with a moment of raw vulnerability. A simple, heart-wrenching confession between Brook Lynn and Chase. Late one night, Brook Lynn sits across from Chase, her hands trembling as she tells him everything. About the child she gave away. About her fear that she is unworthy of being a mother. About her terror that if Dante ever found out, he would hate her. Chase listens, his heart breaking for the woman he loves. But with the truth laid bare, he knows they face a terrible choice: to continue living behind walls of silence, or to tear those walls down, no matter the cost. Together, they decide that honesty must prevail. If they are to become parents, they must first become whole. And so Brook Lynn prepares to do the unthinkable, to sit down with Dante and tell him the truth, come what may. Can forgiveness heal the past? The confrontation between Brook Lynn and Dante is inevitable, but its outcome is far from certain. Will Dante be able to forgive her for a secret so deeply personal, a betrayal she never intended but committed all the same? Will Chase stand by her, even if the friendship he treasures with Dante crumbles under the weight of Brook Lynn's confession? And perhaps the most painful question of all, can Brook Lynn ever forgive herself? Adoption is supposed to be about new beginnings. For Brook Lynn and Chase, it has become a crucible, a trial by fire that will either forge a stronger bond between them or destroy them completely. As the walls of deception crumble, only love, courage, and a willingness to embrace the painful truth will determine whether their dream of a family can survive. In the world of General Hospital, where secrets have the power to ruin everything, Brook Lynn and Chase must prove that love can survive even the darkest revelations. Their future, and the future of the child they hope to welcome, depends on it. Would you also like me to write an alternate, even more emotional and dramatic version if you want more options? Glowing Star.